Welcome to Thinking Green. I'm Rana, and before I introduce tonight's guests, I wanted to do a brief announcement that there's a fundraising banquet for Start Fresh this Sunday, March 26th, and it's going to be at Conn College at the Crozier Williams Center. And if you want to find out more about it, you can go to Start Fresh. They have a Facebook page, and all the funds are going to help relocate Syrian refugees who are coming to live in our area. And that's kind of in keeping with the general theme we've been having for our shows the last, since Election Day, which is to try to focus on how we can make our communities more resilient and more welcoming in light of some possibly not so friendly policies coming down the pipe from Washington. So with that in mind, my guests tonight are Mario de Lucia and Kia Baird from OutCT. And we're going to talk about the organization, upcoming events, and ongoing things that it's been working on. So welcome, Mario and Kia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess maybe we can start out, and each of you maybe can talk about how you got involved with the organization.
Okay, we'll start with Kia since she's been the longest one out.
It's been a while. Well, I am one of the founding board members for OutCT. As some folks will know, Constance, who was our founder, did a feasibility study in New London to see if this county and this community could sustain a Pride Festival. And then what she did was folks that did the study with her and folks that she knew from the community, she asked to come be on this board. Me specifically, because I do event planning and entertainment, she asked me to come be part of the board and chair the entertainment committee. So that was 6 years ago. So, and OutCT went from this kind of idea that was like a thesis project for her to something that the community has really rallied around, and we can continue, and we hope to be here for a long time.
Yeah. Now you've gotten involved a little more recently, Mario.
Yeah, I'm on my third year. I was actually approached by Constance. I was having dinner at Deb's, and I was in the process of creating a fashion show that was going to fund a youth center. So Constance asked me to join the board, and I figured there was a good opportunity to partner with OutCT to make the fashion show even mean something more for me.
Yeah, actually, it seems like a perfect pairing.
Yeah, it actually worked out great. And along that, we are now on the third fashion show, and I also became the new board president.
Yeah, so once you're in,
yeah.
Right?
So I was the fundraiser guy, from fundraising to board president.
To board president, which is great.
Yeah.
It's funny because I serve on several different boards, or have served on several boards over the years, and OutCT is different than a lot of the board of directors that I've served on, in that a lot of the board members, this is their first board opportunity, board appointment. This is their first time working in organizations at all, you know. So you know, number one, that people really are passionate about this, and this is something that they want to do. But it's also a really great place for people that may be interested in being on board of directors, but could be kind of intimidated by bigger boards. And it's a working board, it's a volunteer board, so you know you're going to come and we're going to use all the skills that you have. And but it's a really good place for young people that are interested in being on boards, I think.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with that. I always share with Kia, like I'm so uncomfortable on a lot of things that I do because I'm not familiar with it. But what keeps me is the passion that I have for the youth center and OutCT as a whole. We do a lot of great things for a small group. Mm-hmm. I believe that we really try the hardest to always achieve the best we can.
And actually, you've had pretty high visibility in the community for only being around for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we're progressing.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're growing. As much as when we are in a smaller group, we might think that we need to do more and more and more, but we're getting there.
Yeah, and I think for better or for worse, right, there have been some things that have happened over the years that have really showed that OutCT wasn't just a novelty thing, it was a necessity for the community. So being there, being an ally for the community and being a place where kids, like, as Mario said, is his passion, can really feel safe and feel at home. When the Orlando tragedy happened, we were able to help to really galvanize the community, bring the community together so that we could mourn collectively and then continue this grassroots effort to raise awareness and to raise unity and to talk about issues. So we've become
and we also
a
keep some
necessity.
traditions too. So it's also about keeping some of the traditions that as you move forward, some of the things that for once I think is still nice to, like drag shows and all this kind of stuff, it kind of gets lost and we try to bring it back to where it started at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, this is, we have a couple of slides, and this is the vision and mission of the organization OutCT. So do you want to talk a little bit about, what the rationale behind the need for the organization was?
Well, like I mentioned, when we first thought was really about the Pride Festival, like Mario was talking about the traditions that come with being part of the LGBTQIA and ally community.
That is good, though, that you keep adding
letters,
as
right.
the community gets bigger and more inclusive,
exactly.
right?
That's
Yeah,
exactly
and hopefully
what's
we'll get all the letters in there to where eventually we'll just
26
become
letters
one.
And then it's just one community. But the Pride Festival was something that it was centered around, but very quickly we saw that wasn't just what the need was. That was something that was going to be fun and that was going to be a social gathering for us, but really there was a need for education, there was a need for community activism, there was a huge need to reach out to young youth.
Yeah.
We're young,
Young.
right? We're young,
You're young.
but younger than us, kids that are LGBTQ, to be an ally for them. So that's how the mission grew, and even after 5 years or 6 years, wherever we are, really drawing back to that mission and saying that we're so much more than just a Pride Festival. We really are a community organization, and education and social activism is part of what we do.
And so I want to talk a little bit about the youth outreach, because it seems like that piece of your mission is getting like more and more energy put into it.
Yeah. Well, the youth center. So we started up 2 years ago. Like I said, I started from the fashion show that eventually funded the program. I think it's a great place to put our focus on because, the youth is our future. Everybody knows that. But earlier on, when you were talking about the progression, how we have progressed over the years. But I think we quickly forget that even with progression, there is still challenges that kids face these days. Coming out is still hard. The transgender community is really having a hard time now that it's more talked about. So I think it's great to create a space to where kids can come and feel comfortable. The group that we have now, we are up to 12. It changes all the time, but we have 12 kids that come, and they really, really enjoy being there, creating friendship, and hopefully in the future start to get more involved in the community to make them their own advocate.
So the group meets once a month?
Yes, we do meet once a month in Noank. There is transportation provided for those that cannot get there, which we have a couple kids that do use the transportation. So, and it's always from 3 to 6, and the house is great. We got a full kitchen. We'll do cooking. We created a mosaic for the fashion show, which is pretty amazing. Can't wait to see how much money we're gonna make on that one. This past weekend we were in Mystic at the escape room. The kids just love it. They really enjoy being together. Yeah, I mean now there's
More
two of them.
kids? Yeah,
There's
yeah,
more
yeah.
kids.
That's awesome.
You know, start to get interested in each other, and it's interesting how easy they can just come together. We don't really have to do a whole lot, and the group is very diverse. But you definitely see the some definitely struggle, and that's why they like to be there.
Now, are most of them from New London, or does it draw from the whole region?
No, actually, Norwich. We don't actually have anybody from New London at the moment.
Oh,
Waterford,
interesting.
East Lyme, a good group from Stonington High School, Groton.
So New London kids, where are you?
Yeah, really?
I mean, we recently helped one of the schools with a fundraising event at the Guard, at the Hygienic. And so they know about us, and I'm sure that the more we put the word out there and the more they realize that it's open to everyone. That's another thing, not just LGBT kids can come to this center, so everybody is welcome. So I'm sure that we will have no problem growing.
You know, it's geared to high school age kids in general?
Yeah, from 13 to 18. That's the age group.
Now, you mentioned before, when we were talking before the show, we were talking about progress being made, but I mean, one of the big areas has been that it's been a very high risk group for kids. So do any of these students, come to you really having been through awful stuff?
We see, that's the thing. It's like our center is not so much to talk about that kind of stuff. It's just more of a social gathering.
Cool.
We create things. So if they do come, we do have a therapist and we do have resources to help the kids. But we don't really get into the deep conversation at the moment.
And the one major reason that kids that identify on the LGBTQ spectrum cite, the major thing that they talk about is isolation, especially social isolation, whether it be at school or at home, which is mostly where that happens once the kids come out. And that's the major thing that the youth center can give, is to help with that social isolation, to have more kids that they can be around, to have safe adults that they can be around. So even if they're not sitting having a conversation about what it is to be, on this spectrum of all those letters, they have friends that they can just be with, and they play games and bake cookies. And
in that moment, they're not even feeling the whatever that's why they're there.
Whatever their letter is,
So once they're there, they are and they're enjoying themselves. And this, but again, we have reached out to kids. So far, the kids that come, they have supportive parents. So there is definitely something to be said about that too. That we have not yet reached to those kids that might not have supportive parents, and we want to. I mean, that is definitely. Trying to get there. We're connected with DCF and different organization, so hopefully we'll be able to reach. And that's why the transportation is probably gonna come handy.
Well, and we do have a slide showing just the vision and the mission for the youth program, which is compatible with, but isn't exactly the same as the mission of OutCT in general.
Yeah, it's compatible. I mean, there's pretty much the same thing, but formatted for a younger group. But yeah, so the main part is, as I see, is more about building support and to create peers for the kids. And then as far as the vision is about eventually get these kids to be part of the community and just start to be their own advocate. And so we're gonna start a community garden. Which I think will be a lot of fun.
Where are you doing that? That sounds
right at the
great.
house. We are creating some gardens, and we're gonna clean them up so they can learn on how to gather the soil, get it all ready, plant, and care for them. And then when the vegetables are ready, we'll do a little stand for the no-ink people to, or anybody really to come. So hopefully we can make these plants grow,
Oh, yeah,
and we'll
that sounds
see.
great.
I'll take that class too.
Yeah, I'm really into
I do love,
gardening.
I love gardening, so I figured I'd bring some of that.
Yeah.
That's why the cooking and the gardening is in there, because it's something I'm passionate about, and I just want to transmit that to them, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Now, before we start talking more about issues, I wanted to make sure we get to a current, talk about current fundraiser T-shirt promotion, just because I'm afraid if we keep it to the end of the show, we will run out of time. And this is only going on for another couple weeks.
Right. So we, maybe a couple years ago, we did a very, very small number of the I Heart New London t-shirts, and they were a huge hit. So we decided again this year that we were going to we do t-shirt fundraisers every year, different themes, different kinds of t-shirts, but we really wanted to bring back the I Heart New London t-shirts. So we hope to see them all over, you know.
Yeah, it is a fun shirt. I gotta say, when I came on board, it was after this, and I kept looking at it. I'm like, I want one of those shirts. I was like, why don't we make that? So I'm glad that they're back, and it would be nice to see more people wearing them.
And there is a women's and a unisex, which we talked before the show about how unisex sizing doesn't
strange,
necessarily
right?
work well on women.
Yeah, no.
So there's a choice. You can get a long sleeve T-shirt, and right along the bottom in a couple of different colors, there's the short sleeve women's T-shirt, and they're fun and they're reasonable, and they're a way to support OutCT in a pretty low-key way.
Yeah. We love it. We love to see the T-shirts. We love to see the bumper stickers. When I pull up in the grocery store behind someone that has an OutCT bumper sticker, I'm like, yes.
Which there's more on the way, which is going to be great. Can't wait for those either.
So people will have to keep watching their website for when the bumper stickers are available.
Yeah, and also different events that.
The bumper stickers we love to give out at events and things. So.
Yeah, like the happy hour and other things that we do.
Well, speaking of events, your annual meeting is coming up in just a couple of days.
Yes, it is. Indeed.
Ready for
So
I'm ready, as I was ready for this, I guess.
this will be the practice run.
Yeah. We're excited about the annual meeting. The annual meeting, like I said, again, to have a really young board of directors, having the annual meeting, having it be open to the public is a really good way for us to get in good practice with what a lot of the board of directors do. It's an opportunity for us to invite the community into one of our meetings and really see the progress that we've made over the years, all the things that we have coming up this year and all the things that we've accomplished since the last annual meeting. So we encourage lots of people to come. It's at Charter Oak, so we got plenty of space.
Yeah, they have some huge conference
Yeah,
rooms.
They do. It's
beautiful
actually a
over
really
there.
nice room.
It's beautiful, yeah.
And
So
we're really grateful for them to host that again for this year.
Now, I notice also that you see on the website you list, you have a lot of community support and a lot of community sponsors.
Yeah.
Mario's great at that.
Yeah, I gotta say, with the fashion show, we have reached out to a whole new group, which is nice, and we have a lot of support from. Majestic Jewelers is a sponsor this year. We have the aquarium confirmed their sponsorship for this year as well as a top sponsor, which they're great. They also offered some of the events that they have for the youth for free to the youth center for the kids to go to, which is really great. We are Q105.5. They do in-kind donation with some advertisement. I'm sure there is many more, but I can't.
Yeah. Especially around the youth. There are several, many organizations that are happy to help with the youth program. So we foresee that growing and growing. So.
Yeah. I guess I forgot another sponsor, which is Antonio Hair Design. That's one I was missing.
Now, For people who want, or are thinking they might want to go to the annual meeting, that's this Thursday at Charter Oak, and what can they expect to see?
Well, I mean, it's basically going to be just a little presentation. Like you said, this will just be showing, the progress and upcoming projects that we have.
With refreshments.
Yeah, refreshments.
This
Yeah,
is always
that's
good.
always good. Food brings people all the time.
Yeah.
But it's also going to be a good place to meet and with us and brainstorm too. It's
Yeah, I was going to say, it's also a call to action for us too, because there are a lot of times we run into people that say, hey, OutCT, I want to help, So coming to the annual meeting and hearing what we have going on, and you can really, because we do so many different things, people kind of say they want to help, but where, and when. It's a good opportunity to see the things that are coming up and really decide where you'd like to volunteer or where you'd like to help.
And I have to say, I was sort of privileged that I got to see sort of a draft of the slideshow, and there's a lot going on, both in terms of upcoming events and annual events and ongoing activities. It's like whatever area you're interested in helping in, there probably is some way to
we can use the help. I mean, that is
if you're
no
interested,
question.
Yeah, we will definitely take that.
So I'm sure you have a committee for everything, and you're looking for people to help out.
And that's the good thing, is that the committees are very diverse. So if you're somebody that's into entertainment and culture and that kind of stuff, there's a committee for that. If you're a fundraiser, we have a committee for that. And if you like to fundraise, we'd love to have you. If you are interested in talking to vendors and talking to businesses about the things that we do, we have a committee for that. So, and because we don't have members per se yet, volunteering really is the way to kind of help drive our mission and to help the community.
Yeah.
So you're always looking for more volunteers.
Always.
And perhaps some of them will be future board members and be
Exactly.
sitting
Yeah.
on this
I mean,
chair at some
Exactly.
point.
Yeah.
we're the last few months we were running on 8 board members, so we recently brought 4.
I think it was less than
We,
8.
well, with Constance it was 8, so
Yeah.
there was 7 of us. So we brought 5 more board members.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and most of the folks that we get on the board, you're absolutely right, volunteered. They worked during special events and have become family, and now are board members. Yeah.
And then we had a past sponsor that hopefully will sponsor this year's event. He's also going to be on the board. So it's exciting. It's exciting. We have a lot going on, so it's nice to have the help.
Okay, so also coming up, in not too far distant future, the Born This Way fashion show, which is was your pathway into the organization, correct?
Yes.
So tell us about it.
Well, the fashion show is great, if I have to say so myself.
You get the opportunity
Yeah.
to say so yourself.
It just got started. It was just an idea, and now it's actually growing, and each year it gets more exciting. It's built around diversity. I mean, that's where we are. So the models are people in our community that is drag queens, transgenders, straight, gay. So it doesn't really matter, all size, shapes, and form. Everybody that wanted to participate was included to a capacity. So we have 35 models this year. It's going to be quite interesting. The theme is gods and goddesses. So they'll be featuring whatever their idea of a god and goddesses is all around the world. And we'll have food.
That sounds fun.
It is a lot
Yeah.
of fun. It's so fun. And it is a great opportunity to bring the LGBT and the allied community together. For some folks, it's the first time they've ever seen a drag queen. So so I've had friends call me and they say, "What do I wear to this thing? What am I supposed to wear?"
I must admit, I would have no idea what to wear.
I mean, it's a fashion show. I feel like if it's a fashion show, you should get fancy, right?
Fancy.
Fancy.
Yeah.
But But you don't have to, But that's just me. I'm looking for excuses to dress up.
I think the first year was sort of like more so because people didn't know what to expect. But last year was already like you could tell people were getting even more into
last
it.
year, folks, audience members wore costumes.
I mean, we had
and things
Carson
like that.
Kressley on the show, so that was a big draw too.
Now, is he coming back?
He's not coming back this year. Figured we'll just keep it for once in a while. And,
We'll call in those favors when we need them.
Yeah. Plus, the MC this year is going to be Suzette Tybus. She is one of the main sponsors from Majestic Jewelers. She's got great energy. I'm really excited to what she's got to bring in. She is an ally, always really supportive of a lot of different nonprofits or galas. So I think it's going to be just amazing.
I'm excited.
And I do have
We'll sell out this year. I know we will.
I do have a few photos from last year's. They're a little dark. If you go to the annual meeting, then this is one of Constance's slides.
I'll have to
Anything that has a yellow background that you see here came from her.
Yeah, so I think people should not miss this event.
No,
it's not to be missed.
It is a lot of fun. The fashion show or the runway show is only a small part of what happens. There's things going on from as soon as you get in the door until the end of the night. So it's a fun
Yeah,
night.
there will be some dancing, which is always fun.
Yeah.
We have had Arthur Murray Dance Studio do performances, which we are planning on organize something like that. There's going to be few drag performers that they're going to bring a good show on. And like you said, the fashion show is a small part, but it is great.
It is fabulous. The whole event is great.
Now, can people already buy tickets for it?
Yeah, the tickets are for sale online. If you go on OutCT.org, there is a link for the fashion show. We'll also have tickets coming up that can be purchased in person if people don't do the online thing. So there is different way to get the tickets. It's $60 for a ticket, and for a table, if people buy a table, will be $500 just as a group entry.
Nice.
Yeah.
So anytime, and you said the funds go to help the youth programs. They're
And strictly
very
for that, yeah.
targeted. That what you're paying for, all the proceeds are going to go for this outreach.
Yeah, it's going to make things possible because we have some long-term goals with the program. Kids are requesting to meet more often. It would be nice to see actually even being a weekly thing versus just this once a month. We're already starting to integrate different activities that we can do as a second activity through the month, but we definitely need the funds before we blow it up. Yeah.
And this is a good way that people can support OutCT, and it'll be fun, and
It's a feel good altogether.
Yeah.
From
It's a win-win.
yeah, it's a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
so the other big thing, what you got started on was the Pride Festival, correct? And that's in August. So yes.
I know. I have the pleasure of chairing the Pride Festival this year. It is August 26th at Ocean Beach Park. That is our Pride Day, kind of at the beach. But it is my hope and the hope of the board to make the Pride Festival 2017 a week-long event. So this is my opportunity to ask all the businesses, all the organizations in and around New London to plan things during that week. So we really want to offer a calendar of events so that the festival goes on not just for Saturday, but for that whole week. So that's our hope for this year.
So what kind of things do you anticipate happening? I've been to the one at the beach.
Yeah, the beach is
and it
fun.
is a lot of fun.
The beach is fun. The beach has been great for us. It's so nice to see all the families. It's a very family day. All the entertainment we put on the stage and on the boardwalk, and everything that happens at the beach is just great. But also throughout the week, we plan to have a short film festival during the week. We're going to have brunch on Sunday. We'd love to have a social with the kids because it's summertime and it's like right before they go back to school. So some social activities with the kids, things like that we want to happen all week long. New London Main Street has offered to really help so that businesses during the week could offer special menus during the week, pride-centered menus. I don't know, ice cream with rainbow sprinkles or something like that. But that's what we want to do. We want to bring people to the area. We want to have them stay a couple of days. We want to be able to offer lots and lots of things that they can do, all culminating at the beach on Saturday.
When you mentioned, bringing people in for the weekend, it's like, this really could be a great draw for, New London is about tourism.
Yeah, absolutely. And people know that there are different Pride festivals that happen all over the country. But one thing that you don't see often is a place that hosts Pride that has a beach that you can literally, come dance on the boardwalk, listen to music, and then go play beach volleyball while you're at the Pride Festival. So New London is very unique in that way. So we want to really showcase that. So.
And I do have a few slides from a couple years ago. Actually, the first one is from a Hygienic. There was
that's great too.
The evening before.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is last year or 2 years ago.
That's 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That is the Hartford Gay Men's Chorus, who has become a staple in our Pride Festival. They are wonderful. They serve as kind of the ambassadors. They get us started with the national anthem. The very first year we just asked them to come and sing the national anthem, and people said that was not long enough. They need to sing a whole set.
They're very good.
So now they stay with us for a little while, and they're great to have there. They've been wonderful.
And then, these were.
Those are the T-shirts.
Yeah,
those are
some
the
of the
T-shirts.
The T-shirts from a couple years ago. Although I must say this year's are more colorful.
Yeah.
And then some beach photos.
Yeah. And that's the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
I know they have a long name, but these are all performers that have been voted into these into their titles. So you have a duchess and a king.
Well,
and
we
a
have
queen.
the emperor,
The
in the
emperor.
blue, Lucia virginity.
All right. So, and they come as a part of the fundraising for OutCT. So they come and donate their time to OutCT during the festival. So.
Yeah, and some will be also at the fashion show.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's just like the evening at the beach.
Yeah. And this is probably part of the tea dance. So one of, like, as Mario mentioned, traditions from the LGBT community, tea dance is one of them. So we bring in some really good DJs so that people can just dance. And the kids love this part. The kids just love being out there. We've had amazing weather every year, and this year, and they just get out there and dance, and it's fun.
This year, the weather
into the universe.
So maybe we should talk about some of the ongoing things that you're have going on. I know you do happy hours and other things on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So let's let people know
Yeah.
about it.
So happy hour is, like I said, we have committees that people can be on. The happy hour was a brainchild of the entertainment committee. And what we wanted to do was have a monthly opportunity that we could go into different businesses and give back to the businesses. So what we do is the last Wednesday of every month, we call it Hump Day Happy Hour. And we pick a different restaurant that we can go to, and the restaurants don't have to do anything special. We just go and we spend money at the restaurant.
Yeah, you descend upon.
Yeah, exactly. We go.
They must love it.
Yeah, it's like, they don't have to do anything different than they do on a normal Wednesday.
It's basically just a reservation that we have an area for us.
And we've gone to restaurants in Mystic and Westerly, New London, and
I think Hartford once.
we did do Hartford. Yeah. So really, our community is folks from all the communities, right? And then we want to take that opportunity to give back to the businesses and really patronize the businesses, and there are drinks.
Yes.
And, we noted, I was at an event over the last weekend, and it was like wine and dessert, and let's just think about the state of the country while drinking and eating.
Yeah. You do need some
I mean, especially in the wintertime, it's been nice to have, something just to go into and just relax.
And you know what is interesting, and I don't even know if we've talked about this, but I've had this conversation with a couple of people in the community. What is different about the happy hours is that they are more intimate than maybe the Pride Festival. So someone who maybe has never been to a Pride Festival, someone who maybe transitioned late in life or has recently become part of the community, and do you want to go to an event that has 1,000 people there, So the happy hours is also a way for folks to come to an event that OutCT is sponsoring, but it be a small group of 10 or 7 or 12 people.
In some aspect, it's almost like, the youth gathering that we do once a month. It's almost that for grown-ups.
The grown-up version.
So we have a grown-up youth meeting.
Right.
Now, how does a person find out what restaurant was chosen for each month?
So most of what we do with those kinds of social events is through Facebook. But on our website, if you go on our website and then join the mailing list, then we send things out via email too.
So you can get on e-blast list. Now, do you know where the March meeting is going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be at the Black Sheep in Niantic. For karaoke night.
Yeah, and then in April it'll be at Pizzetta and Mystic, which was a fun one last year.
Yeah, last year was actually
one. It was so amazing. Again,
well, it's spring
great weather. We were outside, so it was fun.
Nice. Yeah. So, what other things are going on? We have about 2 minutes left.
So there is the hump day we talked about. We have the march that's going on.
Now
June
that's
11th.
a national event that we're having a
locally,
local solidarity event.
Exactly.
So
that's March 11th.
Well, Constance is kind of organizing that with another group. So I'm not gonna be here, so I really haven't put a lot of.
He's like, I'm gonna be away, but it's June 11th at Parade Plaza downtown.
Actually,
more information.
No, June is tough.
No, I don't know. It's tough. I'll be in Chicago.
Yeah, we'll post updates about that.
We will, yeah. And that's one thing that we'd like to do on our Facebook page as well, is post events that OutCT may not be hosting, but of information of events that other community members are having that we love to share. So.
And then we have the spaghetti dinner that is going to also happen in June that Edwin organized or was organizing with the Baptist church, which it was big.
Baptist.
So that's going to be. I don't recall the day right now. But I know it's somewhere in June. I think it's June.
Get on that e-blast.
Definitely.
I think it's June 15th, if I remember correctly.
You'll never miss another
Well, we also do have some, we have it here, June 15th, save the date.
Oh, nice.
This was one of Constance's slides.
Yeah, so most of the stuff will be, and a lot of this information will be eventually put on the website as well once the Wednesday meeting happens. So we'll make sure to feature all these events online. And
there were also a few, the monthly and programs and events to be scheduled still that.
Then we have scavenger hunt.
The scavenger hunt. People love the scavenger
hunt.
hunt. So the scavenger hunt happens in the summertime.
July this year.
Ooh, it's gonna be hot. It was hot last year too. And this is really just a fun event that we do. One of the other founding board member, Leo, this is his project, and it just brings several different teams together, lots of coworkers or students from Mitchell get a team together.
It's a good team building thing as well.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And it's been kind of different each year, but it's wonderful to see people running around downtown New London, maybe dressed up in toilet tissue or something.
Well, the hygienic used to be more edgier,
Oh, yeah.
like with people
Well, they have
dressed
clothes
up
underneath these toilet
downtown.
tissue
So
gowns.
I mean, I've done it 2 years ago. I did. I mean, I ended up in a very small dress and walking around at the store,
Yeah.
thinking to purchase it. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and that's a great event too, because the New London businesses also help very much. So folks are in and out of the businesses. They're taking pictures there. And we can't really tell too much because then
Right.
you give away the clues,
Right.
But that's a fun event, especially if you have groups, community groups that want to get together and make teams. That's a lot of fun.
now, well, are there any other events? Because if there aren't, I wanted to talk a little before we run out of time, just about like general resources. I know if people go on the website, there is like a list of like places of worship and medical care and counseling and all kinds of community resources that many of us wouldn't really think are necessary, but really might be.
Right. I was just thinking that as you were saying that we are blessed, I guess, to live in a state that is very inclusive in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But we know that folks do need resources, and like you said, the places of worship. One thing, having open and affirming churches that folks can go to. We also know that we're a heavily military community, so people that move here, from different states, from different
that's a
areas
good
that are
point.
looking for resources, and we're happy to be able to be a resource to folks that are new transplants to the area, to connect people with community. I've said before, I've lived in other states and came back and noticed that the LGBTQ community is very integrated with the allied community here in Connecticut. So for someone that is not from here, that might be a strange, environment. So being able to have resources and information, that's something that we love to have on the website, and the board members can help people when they have those kinds of questions.
It was interesting to me looking at the affirming congregations that there are a lot of them, but it's not all of them.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a strange thing, right? Because you think it seems like something you would need, right?
Yeah. It's so many of these things
it seems like something you
things you
would
need.
need. But churches, I think, need to know that even if you feel open and affirming as a church, it's nice to have a little thing, some kind of recognition, so that as someone drives by, if they're looking for a church, or if someone Googles you and they're looking for a church, something that will let them know that this is a safe place, so.
Yeah, because really, even in Connecticut, I don't think people can make assumptions.
Right.
Even though I feel like we're relatively, insulated here from some of the craziness that's
Yeah.
happening in other
we
parts
are.
of the country.
Yeah.
We still, can't take things for granted.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, so it's nice to have those resources.
So I do want to do a little pitch for the website, because there is a lot of information on it, both related to events coming up and also just general resources and information about how people can get involved.
Yeah, and if there is not the resources needed, usually if we get an email, we always make sure to, look for things that are needed and make sure to also add it as more things come up.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. The more, if people come to the website and there isn't something there, then that's when we reach out to the board of directors to really add that stuff. We want our website to be this living, growing thing that is evolving, and we want it to be a robust resource for folks.
And I noticed also you list a lot of events that are not sponsored by you, but are happening in Connecticut and Rhode Island and the greater community.
Right. We want the website to be a go-to for folks. I'm sure you've heard several times people say, "There's nothing to do. I don't have anything to do."
Yeah, but no one in New London can really say
They
that.
shouldn't,
and it
but
should-
they do, you know? So we want to be another resource so folks can't say that they don't have anything to do, because we're putting that information out there.
Yeah, and the more people join us, the more appealing it's going to be as well,
Right,
because
yeah.
now more people come together and everything becomes more fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question, not to get too political, but since the election in November, have you seen any change in people's either sense of fear or in people's enthusiasm to get involved? I mean, have you?
Can they be both? Can it be
Well,
both?
It can be.
I think it's both at the same time,
It's
because
like how is what's happened nationally just affected people living here?
I mean, again, this is personal. For me, I feel that if more than anything, it's bringing people together. As much as we like to see that everybody says, oh, everybody's apart, but I do believe that, and the work that we do, I see that we are coming together and continuing the journey that, I mean, nothing is changing, really. Like, we're still doing the same thing as we always have done. But I do think that people are feeling a little bit stressed about some of these changes. You know.
Yeah, and I think that this is across the board for nonprofits, is that there was an uptick in volunteerism directly after the election. So I think for folks that work in nonprofits, for folks that work in grassroots organizations, we, like you said, we've been doing this work all the time. You know, but it is what it is. It works. We will take the help. It really, I don't think that this was the point, but it worked to galvanize people to really think about what it is they're passionate about, and to go do and to go help. So you're seeing a lot of, we see like this local march in Washington, we see the women's marches and things like that. And that, you know, it came from a negative place, but I believe it's going to have a positive impact, because people really are, you know, excited again, and really feel an urgency to help and to be present.
Yeah, I guess with fear, there is fear, and then there is the excitement, and then there is the wanting to get involved, the wanting to stick to the work that we do. And I don't know, I think it's interesting. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It's an interesting time.
Well, yeah. What's interesting to me is that in the past we have seen marches on Washington and in big cities, and it seems like the difference now is every town has its own solidarity event, so that even people who can't really travel want to feel a part of the bigger movement.
Right, exactly. And I think that is what is happening. So many times people have been able to kind of watch things as they unfold on the news. You know, it's like kind of over there. It's happening over there.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, with our new show, We Rise, or whatever it was, I've learned that a lot of this stuff, you know, it was always, we heard about it, we knew it was happening, but there was not, I mean, I'm sure people took action. That's what happened.
Some, right?
But now more people are taking action, and it's a bigger, stronger movement. So I think it's a double-edged sword.
So we have like 3 minutes left. So how about just quickly telling people how they can get involved or be supportive?
Well, I guess we could definitely start, like, you know, the committees, you know, any sort of work in the committees, and but anything, even just, you know, honestly, even just an email with suggestion and different ideas of what works and what doesn't work, or what they would like to see, because that would expand a little bit vision.
Right. And I think that the more people express, like you said, solidarity, the more people show their community just kindness, just general kindness, you know, is at the core of what we are hoping, you know, this tolerance kind of an understanding of people that are different from themselves. So if you can make that change in yourself, in how you interact with your neighbors, how you interact with your coworkers, that is just taking the OutCT mission and making it part of your everyday. And if we can have start that small ripple, then the work that we started to do 5 years ago will be continuous forever. So everyone doesn't have to attend every event. But just taking the mission of what we're doing, of just being kind and being inclusive, and taking that in your daily is just that's our hope.
Mm-hmm.
And to get very mundane, there are ways to donate online.
Yes, please
Oh.
do. That's
So
money
if
helps too.
people
Yeah, we have a
can't show up in
recurring.
person,
Yeah,
you're a
absolutely.
nonprofit
We are.
organization, so
We
people
are,
can.
and on the OutCT.org website, you can donate. You can make a one-time donation. You can make a recurring donation. You can
We also can.
make a bequest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can in honor of
Yeah,
other
absolutely.
people. And
So, yes, money always helps.
Yeah. So, but the OutCT website is very easy, outct.org.
Yeah,
So I recommend you visit it.
please do.
Well, thank you, Mario, and thank
Oh,
you,
thank
Julia.
you.
It was fun, and the annual meeting is Thursday. Next week, my guest will be Cindy Barry, and she's going to be talking about all of the new things that Ledge Light is up to this year. She was supposed to be on about a month ago and got snowed out, so
No
we're
more snow.
rescheduling.
No more snow.
No more snow. So thanks again, and we'll see you at all the events.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.